I feel bad for Bonnie. Poor Bonnie. Annalise is always fixing messes and not getting the credit she deserves. Wes is always got to save her. Oh, Michaela's back. Sassy Michaela. Sassy Michaela's back. I have no idea. Partially don't care about what the rest of them are doing right now. And is it just me, or is it that Connor's role almost seems diminished in order to give Oliver some shine? I don't know how I feel about all that. Anyway, this is my recap. Well, my review. Recap, who am I kidding? My review for How to Get Away with Murder, Season 3, Episode 5. It's all about Frank. Well, it's about Frank. The episode starts off, though, with Laurel, which technically she's attached to Frank. We don't know if Frank's the baby daddy or not, but what we do know is Laurel's pregnant, and I believe she's 2 weeks pregnant, which means that if this is 3 weeks, because right now we're 3 weeks before this whole fire started, that means that next week, sometime next week, or maybe the beginning of the week after that, Laurel has sex and gets pregnant. By who, we don't know. Frank could be back by that time, or it could be Wes, because of what we find out. Anyway, Oliver's trying to get more information. Maggie doesn't have more information for them right now. Laurel has suffered some smoke inhalation, which means that they need to go and get fresh oxygen into her. And also, the baby, we don't know the status of the baby. The baby's only 2 weeks. Seems like she didn't lose the baby. Bonnie calls someone, and she's just like, filling them in on what's going on. It's Laurel. She was in the fire, and guess what? Laurel's pregnant. Did you know about it? We're like, what? Rewind 3 weeks prior, Bonnie has to go to see her father, her dead father, and we're like, wait a minute, Bonnie, what? Really? They called you, and you have to deal with the funeral. She said, you know what? Cremate him. She went, I was surprised she didn't touch him. She touched the suit that he was in. It's like, okay. Burn him. What about the ashes? I don't care about no ashes. Laurel goes and calls Bonnie to see, Bonnie, have you seen Frank? Do you know where Frank is? Bonnie goes and lies, because guess who's right in front of her when she turns the corner? Frank. She hangs up, and next thing you know, she's hugging Frank. And she's like, thank you. I'm thinking, look, that reaction was right, and I appreciate that. I was hoping she would do that, because Frank did do her a favor. She hates her father. Her father is a disgusting human being. Now, he's dead, and it was thanks to Frank. So, but their interaction just seemed a little more so like something happened in the past. We'll hold on to that. Now we're back with the Keaton 5, and Laurel brought some snacks, and the thing is that Asher is being Asher, doing a little bit too much, saying how him and Michaela aren't having sex right now because they need to focus on their schooling and studies, things of that nature. Michaela's like, I didn't want sex from you anyway. We see Simon, and Simon is on this whole tip of, oh, you know, I have the information that you need. Here you go, take it, it's yours. Thinking, oh, really? We can have this from you? So it's like, oh, this is a picture of your butt. Yeah, Connor, do you like it? Do you really like that? Do you want to take it home to mommy? Oh, wait, you can't because your mom's not here. I'm thinking, oh, so it was you. It was you. See, that's the thing about Simon. Simon was coming off already like he didn't like the Keaton 5, and it wasn't just the Keaton 5 he didn't like. He doesn't like Annalise either. Interesting enough, he still took the class that she was I don't know about Simon. Someone needs to get Simon fast. I hope it's Simon who died in the fire. I really hope it's Simon who died in the fire, not anyone we actually care about. Because at this point, I'm like, oh, Annalise would actually feel bad if it's anyone except for Simon. Anywho, Annalise is getting her hair done. And guess who's doing her hair? Mary J. Blige. But guess who's also in the beauty shop, 2016 beauty shop? Paula J. Parker. Regardless of what we have to say about Paula J. Parker, she stays getting her role nowadays, and I respect it. This is what we want to see. We want to see Paula J. Parker was playing herself. She wasn't playing herself as in the joke. She was playing herself as in she was really just playing her on screen, on camera. And I loved it. You know, they were joking around. They were saying, oh, Annalise, you lost the white husband, now you lost the black husband. Oh no, I'm black boyfriend. Oh, they'll take the black boyfriend. Paul J. Parker's just like, oh, is he on the market? Because you know, I've been waiting for that one to go back on the market. Like what? And them exchanging hoe stories, and then the other beauticians talking about how her husband was cheating on her and she didn't know about it. They're all saying, yeah, we knew about it. We told you about it. You didn't want to hear it. Next thing we know, we have, you know, the neighborhood crackhead come in trying to sell some CDs. And Mary J. Blige is just like, hey, leave him alone. He's been trying to get himself together for 10 years. She said, it took me 14. It wasn't crack. It wasn't crack. It was cocaine, mostly. And so I got myself together. I signed up for, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous. I replaced it with a new man, sex. It's so good. It's so good. Please like, comment, subscribe, by the way. And Elise is just thinking, Lord Jesus, I love these women, but even this can't bring me out of the funk that I'm in. I'm surprised. Mary was playing herself. Everyone in that scene, except for Viola Davis, was playing themselves. Jeez. Woo! So Bonnie needs to go and ask Frank, why'd you do it? Why'd you go and shoot Marconi? Why'd you shoot Wes's father in front of him? What was the whole point of bringing Wes in it? This is like, well, you know, if I did that, then Annalise would get off my case. Annalise is after you because you brought Wes into it. That's why she's actually pissed at you. Frank, what were you thinking? It was because of him, wasn't it? It was because of him. You're so messed up, and you thought you wanted to make it right, but your logic is so skewed. So we finally get Frank's backstory. Frank's backstory in a nutshell is, you know, Frank's sister put out a call to Sam and was like, I need your help. Sam's like, okay. So Sam goes and talks to this dude. Apparently when Frank was 13, he tried to kill his father, and he's not very remorseful of it. Frank's trying to pretend, at least, like he's not remorseful, trying to pretend like he's really is a bad guy because he feels bad about what he did. But, you know, he's in solitaire. No one wants to see him. Well, that's the story he's trying to paint. But he's really trying to isolate himself from his family because you can tell there's some type of guilt. Now, Sam goes, it's weird seeing Sam back. I must say, it's so weird seeing Sam back. I'm like, see, this is why TV is amazing. Because your character, if you play a pivotal role, they need you. Just like with Rhonda on Empire. Lord, that sex scene, that was ridiculous. But Sam is talking to Annalise to try and convince her to do the case. This is like, do a free case for some spoiled psycho white kids. It's like, are you trying to pacify this kid because you want a kid? I was thinking, wow. Wow. Did Sam see Frank as the son he never had, or the son he could possibly have? I don't know. But, you know, he convinces Annalise to go and to hear the dude out. And Frank is just trying to say he meant it. He went, attempted to kill his father. It is what it is. Annalise is like, you know, I can't help you if you're not willing to help yourself. While Bonnie's taking a shower, Frank comes in because there was a phone call. I'm thinking, originally I thought, oh Lord, is Frank going to come in because he's going to try and put the moves on her? No. I was to give her the phone because it's Annalise. She's talking with Annalise, and Annalise is discussing how, because Annalise wants a buddy. Annalise is alone. Annalise can't go to work, so she needs a pal. Bonnie is out of town, though. So Bonnie's trying to say, well, you know, I'm with my sister right now. She's like, oh, go be with your sister. It's like, no, but how are you? It's like, oh, it's just so much right now. But don't worry about any of that. Go and be with your sister. I'm good. It's just stupid here. It's just boring here. And Bonnie's trying to say, you know, maybe Annalise will forgive you. It's like, well, but then again, you won't forgive yourself, so it doesn't even matter if Annalise forgives you now, will it? Annalise decides, you know, I have nothing better to do, so let me go to this AA meeting. And they call Annalise out because, of course, anyone who's new, you have to go and introduce yourself. He's like, oh, okay. How about this? Who are you? Annalise. Hi, Annalise. Next thing we know, we see the principal there. We see the president of this college there. We're thinking, oh my gosh. At first I thought maybe she was just checking in to make sure Annalise was going. But no, it's because of the fact that she had an alcohol issue too. Back at the school, Simon again is saying how, oh, it's official, our good old Miss Annalise Keaton, she's no longer our professor because she's in AA, she's alcoholic, she's this, she's that, she's the worst. And the Keaton Five are looking at him like, why is he trying to run a one-man smear campaign against Annalise? What's really good? What's really going on with him? And Laurel's saying, well, you know, maybe this is good. Maybe we're finally free. I'm thinking, Laurel, you entertained the BS. And now because Frank is gone, now you don't want to be a part of the gumbo? Anyway, Annalise confronts the principal, what's her name, Soraya, and says, so Professor Erickson, you chose him to take over my class. No, I see how this is. You're not on my side at all. You're trying to go and make things hard for me. She said, no. First off, the school would have never tried to fire you if we didn't think we had a legitimate case. And Annalise was like, oh, you want to talk about cases, huh? That's something I specialize in. Oh, I need some. You're saying if I ever need help. Nope. 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 Bonnie's trying to go and convince Frank, you know, Annalise, of course she's rightfully so mad at you, but you killed my father, I appreciate it. You know, you were just doing what Sam told you to do. He's saying it doesn't matter if Sam told me to do it, I still chose and did it. And I respect the fact that he actually said that because it's true. At the end of the day, he did choose to do it, regardless of the fact that he was instructed to do it by Sam. While Annalise is at home, she decides, let me do some spring cleaning. Maybe I do need to get my life in order. So she starts to assemble the rest of Sam's things, / anything that's Sam related, which is mainly alcohol. She starts rounding up all the alcohol around the house. And again, Annalise, in past day, she's talking to Sam, and Sam is still trying to convince her, like, look, I know he's rough around the edges, but you can't go and just deny Frank. I really think we have a case here. She's like, that's all well and good. You're trying to go and get the son you never had. And speaking of that, you haven't touched me in all these years. You haven't touched me in all this time. So I feel unwanted. I feel like because of the fact that I didn't want to go and do the in vitro, now you have this standoff approach. And again, that was always the main thing. Annalise wasn't able to produce a child. And the one time she did, was able to, and potentially carry it full term, the baby was killed in the car accident. So, go present day, Annalise, like I said, she's getting rid of all the alcohol, and then she's remembering all of the years that she spent with Frank. She goes, she weighs herself, and I love the fact that she took off her robe after she saw the scale show the numbers she didn't like, because that is so real. Not for me, but that's so real for a lot of people. It's like, oh, maybe if I take off this, or maybe if I add on that. And while she's rounding up all the alcohol and then throwing it out, so she puts it in a box just to put it in the trash can inside the house. Okay, while she's shaving, she there's some blood. So that blood reminds her of in 2001 when she miscarried. When she miscarried, they were supposed to be going to some party next week or meeting with some people, but because she miscarried, of course, none of that happened, and she was just so distraught. In 2002, things were looking on the up and up because Sam, as we remember, he was a professor. He was the one that actually got Annalise into the college. And of course, she went leaps and bounds over him. But Annalise just remember all of this because at this point she was in the bed that they shared. And she put a pillow over her. I was like, Annalise, you're not going to be able to kill yourself that way. Stop it. But I mean, she tried. She was like, oh, I was, damn. At first I thought maybe she screamed, but I didn't hear any noises. She took out that bottle. We know Annalise loves her some liquor. We know Annalise Keaton loves her some liquor. Annalise had this whole thing of, okay, too much, too much. Simon comes back and he's pissed because his laptop is stolen. His laptop is stolen, and so he's like, oh, it had to be one of the Keaton Five. It had to be one of you. It was like, you know, I'm not like one of you guys. I'm not spoiled, rich, entitled kids. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Aside from Laurel, because remember, Asher's pretty much been disowned and his father's dead. We don't really know Michaela's background. We know that she has money somewhere, and I don't know who exactly or where the money came from. But, and who else? Connor financially, we never delved into his finances either. So maybe they are spoiled, rich, entitled kids. But Michaela wasn't having it, because then Simon decided he wanted to go and pretend to be a boss. This wasn't a boss move, but he yoked up Laurel's bag. I'm thinking, Laurel, I've seen you mess up some people, so what are you doing now? I know it's an audience, but come on. So he tries and gets the bag from Laurel to search it. Michaela jumps up, and Michaela wasn't playing around. She said, because he was just like, you know what, Michaela, you're here. You want to know why you're here? I know you're just here to go and wait to get your next rich husband, to get you a sugar daddy. She said, boy, if you go near anywhere near my stuff or anyone else in this classroom, don't worry about your laptop being missing. That won't be the only thing missing. Aside from that, oh, you spoiled, tiny, bald, mediocre piece of a man. Let me do that again. If you go anywhere near my laptop or anyone else's stuff, you spoiled, bald, mediocre excuse for a man. And mind you, remember, she has a country accent, so that actually came out. Because that actually came out, everyone was looking at her like, Simon was shook. It's like, Michaela? She was like, you can go now. You can go now. You can go now. Okay. I wasn't ready. So let's, I'm sweating. So let's fast forward to Wes. Wes has met with Maggie's father, and Maggie's father, you know, he's being intrusive. Wes is saying, oh yeah, originally born in Ohio. I'm like, wait, what? Aside from that, my mother, oh yeah, you want to learn about my mother? Because the father's thinking, oh, maybe he's an army brat. No, his mother died. His father wasn't around. I was like, oh, okay. Your mother died. What did she die from? Stomach cancer. Wait, but did that cancer involve a knife slashing her throat? Stabbing her in the... What? Anyway, because of that, I already saw Wes's face like, I can't do this anymore. Annalise is dancing. Annalise is dancing. She's dancing and she calls good old Nate, and Nate doesn't pick up, but she gets the voicemail. She says, you know what? I'm a wreck right now, and the best thing is you don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about me. Woohoo! Next thing we know, we see Bonnie and Frank. They're in the, what is that thing called? They're in the hotel room together. Of course, they're not sleeping in the same bed, but Frank is just talking about how he envisions, you know, why don't we go and run away together? You know, out of all the stuff that's happened, you've had to deal with it the worst when it came to Sam and just Annalise and all of it. So why don't we all just, why not I just run away with you? We can start over in a small town, have kids. And Bonnie looked like she was contemplating it. Bonnie was crying. Frank was like, you know, I'm just kidding. Let me turn on the TV. She's like, okay. I'm thinking, oh Lord, Bonnie, you catching feelings? Wait, have you had feelings? Are these feelings that were just repressed because of all the stuff that was going on? Anyway, Sam comes back to Nate and tells Nate, you need to go and tell my wife the truth. I know that you're not schizophrenic and all that. I know that you're just troubled. I'm thinking, this man ran over his father, tried to kill his father unsuccessfully, and you're for attempted, and because he planned it all out for weeks, and you're trying to... You really are Captain Sava. You're either Captain Sava or Captain Something's wrong with you. You like damaged people. That's the thing. Sam loves damage. This is a dream that our good old buddy, old pal, is having, and Frank is just going through it. He's just like, oh, I guess he's like a nightmare almost. And that being as it may, Bonnie wakes him up, and Bonnie's just like, oh, is it your dad again? He was like, yeah. I'm thinking, wait, so is that what we're calling Sam in relation to Frank? Is that what we're doing now? Oh, okay. Okay. So Bonnie goes and she lays next to him and she's caressing him, and he's telling her about, okay, she was like, well, yeah, maybe we could have the 2.5 kids and the picket fence. They keep touching each other. Next thing they know, they have full-on sex. Laurel is shook because she sees a text from Bonnie that says, he's fine, stay quiet. Oh my God, Laurel. But they're like, Laurel! Earth to Laurel! Hello! And Asher at Annalise's house, and Annalise is still drunk and dancing. Wes is like, Lord Jesus, we'll see how long this lasts. Aside from that, Nate actually goes and listens to the recording and realizes, oh my gosh, Annalise is a wreck. And here comes the black prosecutor, you know, talking about Annalise, because Nate's just like, oh no, family thing. And I was thinking, oh, you still think of them as, you still think of Annalise's family. Oh, that's your Lord, Nate, she better never find out about this. That's all I'm saying. And Oliver comes over because this is where we find out Michaela did steal Simon's laptop with good reason. You know, she was originally trying to find the information that they needed for the test, but no, instead they found something a whole lot better. Something we already knew. Simon was the person who created the killer poster and posted it all over the college. I'm still trying to figure out how a college university that hypothetically has cameras all over the place didn't spot little old Simon doing something like this. That's why I'm wondering, like, this is a cover-up. You can't tell me this wasn't a cover-up. It makes no sense. But again, now with this information in hand, they can finally go and do something about it. When Annalise is throwing up in that toilet, all I was thinking of, Lord, that must be like split pea soup or something nasty like that. Because that reminds me of like baby poop. I was just like, it was thick. And Annalise was going through it. Because Wes, you know, Wes loves to baby and tend to and care for people, especially women. And as Annalise was over, just like, and she's like, how's Maggie doing? Is she good? Is she treating you white? Is she treating you right? Well, do you love her? It's like, yeah, it is what it is. Is she too good to you? And I thought that was powerful when she said, is she too good to you? Because the thing is, because she was saying it more so in reference to herself, Nate was too good to her, too good for her. Because Nate's a normal person. Annalise isn't normal. She's very damaged. She's very bruised. And because of that, it's hard for someone who's normal to deal with her and her antics and her shenanigans. And then Annalise felt a certain way because she finally gets to tell Wes, you know, you don't like me. You really don't want to be here. You tried to kill me. You tried to shoot me. And Wes said, no. I didn't do that because I hate you. I did that because I wanted to make sure it was believable that you were going to die. I wanted to make sure that without a shadow of a doubt that I could protect you. That was the only way I knew how to do so. And I was thinking, you know what, Wes? Part of me believes that's BS, but the other part of me believes that just seeing how extreme you go sometimes, I can believe that. I really can. So he goes, he gets her to the bed, and she's knocked out. She even puts a puke bucket, but she is down for the count. She does not move at all. The next time she moves is in the morning because they're knocking on her door. Like, Annalise, we need to show you something. Annalise goes back to the jail to visit Frank and lets Frank know, you know, I'm going to take this case seriously, but I need you to tell me the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth. Can you do so? You solemnly swear? Yes, I do, Your Honor. And while she's trying to do that, she gets, and it's like, oh, no, I'm perfectly fine. I did. And that's when Nate and Frank said, are you pregnant or something? She didn't even realize at the time. Annalise is having, again, she's dreaming herself. Most of the flashback stuff happened while people were either drunk or hallucinating or really under pressure / stress. So Annalise is awoken by those lovely students of hers that let her know that Simon is the culprit. Simon's the one. She says, you know what? We're not going to do anything. We're not going to report him. I'll handle it. Thank you. Your services are no longer required. Go away. Next thing we know, Annalise is back and awake. I mean, fresh faced, makeup, hair, suit. She goes, barges into Simon's apartment and says, I know you did it. It's like, no, someone put it up. No, I know you did it. And you know what? You could go to jail. You could go to jail for a multitude of reasons. It really, really wouldn't matter. But I'm going to let you go and figure out what you need to do to make things right. I was looking at it as, what? Michaela's still trying to prep everyone, prep her people. They're flanking, they're failing. Next thing we know, Simon comes in. Simon comes in with the information that they needed. And they're looking at him like, wait, why is he doing this? You know, just making good. We're cool now. We're good. And it's like, what? Yeah, I guess so. Sure. I'm thinking, you guys really don't know that was Annalise, who always has your back. Annalise always has your back. And yet you're trying to act like that's not the case. And that part irritates me. Wes sends Laurel a text, even though she's right across from him, maybe in the stairs. I'm thinking, oh, they're going to make out. Ugh. Wes goes and lets Laurel know, you know, I think I need to break up with Maggie. Oh, did the dinner go badly? No, it's just, she's too normal for me. What do you think about it? Should I do it? It's just like, do whatever you want. I'm thinking, Laurel, you know you want to say, do it, do it. And Wes, the way how he was phrasing things, is like, you know, I'm breaking up with Maggie. Frank is out of the picture. Frank isn't out of the picture. Thinking, Laurel, shut up! This is why we can't tell you anything. Laurel has such loose lips. It's ridiculous. And that's the part that pisses me off about her. And I'm thinking Wes was probably going to go and finagle his way into saying, you know, we should try and give us a chance. But he didn't get to go and speak that, which I'm glad he didn't. But we'll see next week because Laurel's supposed to get pregnant. So that should happen next week. Hypothetically, she's to have sex with someone. Bonnie goes back into the hotel room, is cleaned out except for her stuff, and Frank is gone. She instantly breaks down because because she had sex with Frank, she finally, I think, felt like she was with someone who understood her and accepted her for her, and then now he went and left. She was probably contemplating actually leaving with him. I mean, this is Bonnie we're talking about. She is the true wild card. We don't really know how she's going to react. I feel so bad because things are always being taken away from her. It's not fair. It's not fair that things are always being taken away from her. She's not a bad person. She's not a bad person at all. She's just been in such screwed up situations. Annalise goes back to the college and she tells the president, here's how this is going to work. I'm going to sue you for $50 million. I'm going to sue you for X, Y, and Z. And also race, gender, everything, religion, also negligence because you didn't deal with the poster situation. Of course, she didn't snitch and say who. Oh, forget that dumb word. Of course, she didn't divulge who did it, but she's just saying how you're going to reinstate me. Like, you can't be reinstated until you're licensed. Oh, don't worry about that. I got that covered. The AA meetings, you have to stick with it. Don't worry about it. Make some calls to whatever you have to do. She breaks because she knows that this would be bad if the college gets sued for all this money during her tenure. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the principal said, you know, Annalise, what you're doing isn't cute. And they always get so close to each other. I'm thinking, Lord, the principal is a lesbian or bisexual or something. This is doing too much. Annalise is just like, look, I don't need your help, because she offers her help again. Like, you can't get through this alone if you're going to take this seriously. Oh, she's not going to take this seriously. She just went on a bender. Oh. Annalise gets home, talks to Wes, and she's over it because she's very irritated. Wes is like, I need to tell you something. Actually, Laurel needs to tell you something. Laurel isn't saying anything, so Annalise is like, what's wrong with you? You don't let a man go and talk for you. What are you doing? I know you. What's the problem? I'm thinking, you know it has to be bad if Laurel isn't just piping up. Then Laurel's like, yeah, so about Frank. I do know where Frank is. He's with Bonnie. It's like, what? Yeah, you know, the place where Bonnie's father was killed, held in prison, then killed. Yeah, and Frank did it. Frank did all of that. Annalise was shook. She was pissed. And then she saw Bonnie. Bonnie was like, Laurel, really? Jesus. So Bonnie's still on the phone with someone we don't know who it is. Because I was trying to get the voice.
I have no idea.
Yeah. She's giving general responses that we could try and possibly comprehend. I had no idea. She says, by the way, did you know that Laurel's pregnant? That's what I'm wondering. Was she talking to Frank? Because it doesn't make sense, Wes. I can't see Wes. Maggie's saying I have to go back in there and see what's going on. Oliver is concerned, so he's going to go and call Connor. He can't get Connor, so he's bugging out. He calls Connor again. Connor doesn't pick up. Remember, Connor is staying with Michaela. So Michaela's mom is there, which we know we'll learn about Michaela's past. And Michaela's mom's just like, oh, this is so-and-so. And it's like, oh, here you go, sweetie. Like, thanks, Mom, whatever. Oh, what's going on? What do you mean? Oliver tells Michaela that Laurel is pregnant. She was also in the hospital, is burned. And we see the TV, and it's confirmed that it's 100% a man who was in the house. Because at this point, we know Bonnie, Annalise, Laurel, and Michaela are good. So I feel like that wasn't really that big of a hint. Oh, I guess hypothetically it could have been Eve, even though, or Annalise's mom. So that negates everything. That negates all of that. It's a male. We don't know the size. All we know is, I know the woman will be pissed if it's Frank. The woman will be pissed if it's, what's his name? What's the guy's name? If it's Nate. People will kind of be happy if it's Wes. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I would be happy, but if it was Wes, would that be... No, Wes can stay. Because Annalise, I think she actually would have died if it was Wes. So, no. I kind of hope it was Simon, even though I don't know why he'd be there. Not sure now.